Hi, and welcome to Chapter 4 of Pay It Forward, Reading in Strange Places with Mr. Nelson. This one's chapter title is Arlene. Obviously, Arlene is the mom. It was not even 7 o'clock. Someone was shaking her shoulder, and without being exactly conscious, she knew by instinct it was her boy. Mama, you awake? Yeah. Can Jerry come in and take a shower? She blinked and squinted at the clock. She had another half hour to sleep. Nothing should have been happening now. A dream maybe, that's it. Jerry who? My friend. She hadn't known Trevor to have any friends named Jerry, and now she had forgotten the original request. Just use your judgment. I'll be up in half hour. She folded a pillow around her head and that was the last thing she remembered until the alarm clock went off and she threw a pillow at it. A few minutes later, as she set a bowl of hot cereal in front of the boy, a total stranger popped up out of the hall and into the kitchen. She was all set to scream, but felt a little too embarrassed to follow through because maybe out of the three of them, she was the only one who seemed even a little bit surprised right now. She figured the man to be in his 40s at least, clean-shaven, with a receding hairline, and he was wearing brand new blue jeans and a stiff-looking denim shirt. What the? Who are you? He didn't answer fast enough, so Trevor said, "It's Jerry, Mom. Remember you said he could come in and take a shower?" I said what? Yeah. When did I say that? Right before you woke up. Remember I asked you, Mom? Meanwhile, Jerry had said nothing in his own defense or otherwise, but apparently he was a smart enough man to know when and where he was not wanted, because he began to creep sideways towards the door. Thank you kindly, ma'am," he said with his hand on the doorknob, and Trevor asked him, of all the darn things for a kid to say, if he needed money for the bus. The man held out a handful of change, held it out like war medals or rubies, something a darn sight more important than quarters and dimes, that's for sure. I say, Ditsy, this is leftover money from the clothes. And Trevor said, I hope you get the job. And then, after the door closed behind him, Trevor looked up at Arlene like nothing had just happened and said, "You know your mouth's hanging open, right?" But when he saw the look on her face, he hunkered down over his hot cereal and concentrated on stirring the sugar. Trevor? Who in the heck was that? I told you it was Jerry, Ma. Who in the heck is Jerry? He's my friend. I did not say he could come in here and take a shower. Actually, you did, Mom. You said I could use my own judgment. She had no memory of saying those words, but it sounded like her. In that it was what she would have said if she was really just trying to stay asleep. Unless the boy was smart enough to know that that's what she would have said. But it was too early in the morning to sort between things that had happened and those that maybe had. So she said only this: if your judgment includes letting a strange man into our bathroom to shower, then I think your judgment needs a little bit of fine-tuning. He tried to argue again, and that the man was not a stranger, but rather his friend Jerry. But Arlene was not having any of it. She told him only to eat up and get to school, and that she did not want to see Jerry in this house anymore, ever, under any circumstances. No way, Jose. The minute Trevor was out the door, she regretted having forgotten to ask why he had offered Jerry money for the bus. She went straight to the bathroom, which the man left surprisingly neat, and commenced to sterilize every single exposed surface. Maybe 3 days later, maybe 4, Arlene arrived home after working at the Laser Lounge till 3 a.m. to discover someone in the driveway with a light on their wrecked truck. The fact that she had pulled up in front of her own house did not seem to discourage him from what he was working on. She'd been afraid of this, being gone as much as she was. Every time someone came to buy parts off the truck and then drove away without buying some, she was half afraid they would come back in the night and take what they wanted. And now look. With a deep breath, she kicked the back door open directly onto the driveway where the man crouched, working by the light of a metal lamp clipped to the bumper and plugged in somewhere in her own garage. Which made her matter somehow, that some lowlife would use her electricity to better see while he was robbing them. He jumped up and turned to face her in the dark. "It's only me," he said. "Only who?" "It's Jerry." Oh, Arlene thought. Jerry, great. "What exactly you taking off my truck, Jerry?" "Well, everything, ma'am. I've been stacking parts in the garage. Trevor told me you were parting out. You can get a lot more money that way. Did you know that? You have to give a price break to people who have to pull the parts on their own." "Oh, so you're trying to help out?" she said in a tone that made it clear that she didn't think that's what was happening. "Yes, ma'am." "And you're doing that at 3 o'clock in the morning?" "Yes, ma'am. I got me a new job during the day at the Quickie Loop and Tune a few miles down on Camino. So if I'm going to help out, I'm sorry, it's just got to be at night." She couldn't see his face as well as she'd have liked, as dark as it was, but his voice sounded pretty matter-of-fact, and the whole incident was beginning to get under her skin. Picking up his little work light, she walked into the garage to see for herself. He had the parts stacked all neat in there with a door and a bumper and seats. All he had things labeled was something like a grease pencil, driver's side, front, rear. She stepped out again and shone the light straight at him. He threw his hands up to shield his eyes. "Did I ask you to help me?" "No, ma'am, but it's something I'm good at. I used to work at a wrecking yard, and the boys helped me out quite a bit." "Trevor been giving you money?" "Yes, ma'am. Just to help me get on my feet, get cleaned up enough to get a job again, like that." "And now you got a job, so you're gonna pay him back, right?" "No, ma'am. I'm told I'm not allowed to. I can't pay back. I have to pay forward." "Pay forward? What exactly do you mean?" He seemed surprised she wasn't familiar with the term, and meanwhile, it had become something like a normal conversation, with Arlene not exactly having the upper hand, and the fact that she couldn't get mad at him even made her madder. "You don't know about that? You ought to talk to him. I'm surprised he didn't tell you about it. Something he's been working on for a social studies class. He could explain it better though. If you got $10 to rent a hoist, I can pull the engine, put it up on blocks, and tarp it. That'd save you a bundle." "No offense to you personally, Jerry, but I told Trevor that I did not want you around the house." "Thought you told him that you didn't want me in the house." "What's the difference?" "Difference is, one way, I'm in the house. The other way, I'm not in the house." "Excuse me. I think I have to go talk to my boy." But Trevor was so sleepy, all he could say was, "Hey, Mama, everything okay?" When she told him Jerry was in the driveway taking the truck apart, he said, "Oh, that was good." She couldn't be upset with him. He was kind of like his father in that respect. "I'll tell you what, maybe I'll go just a little bit further. This is getting good. Actually, nah, I'll make it another chapter, but maybe I'll drop 2 on Friday. So, if I do drop 2 on Friday, this is the first of 2. One will come in the morning, one will come in the afternoon. This is Mr. Nelson, reading in strange places. Pay it forward. Get ready for, not a new chapter because I'm only halfway through that one, but it's a good stopping point. And a new location. I'll see you next time. Say bye, Giannis.